A while back, y'all may have seen Dreg's video on anarcho-primitivism, or Tech-Prim. It's a good video, but J-Reg fails to offer a realistic synthesis of the two ideology, concluding that the two can't mix and ending on a gag. But I can do better. So without further ado, here is my interpretation of Tech-Prim. But before we get into the ideology, we need to establish a firm understanding of what each ideology is. Transhumanism is the idea that mankind can transcend its mortal shackles into an improved state of being by the use of technology. This is commonly pictured as humanity becoming cyborgs or uploading their consciousness to a computer, but even C.G.P. Gray's belief that we should cure death is a form of transhumanism. Anarcho-primitivism is, well... yeah, pretty incompatible, but we can work with it. Right off the bat, I propose that there should be no civilization. Society should be purely tribal, but not immediately. First, mankind should implement a few changes. The first and foremost being that all humans should become full cyborgs. Only their brains and reproductive system should be kept, and even then, in states that are heavily altered by genetic engineering. Babies would be born via a cybernetic womb within their mothers, but genetically engineered to be fitted with robotic body parts later on in life. It would be the norm for babies to be born as little more than a brain, its organs, and a fleshy sac. The baby would be kept in a robotic exoskeleton until it was old enough to undergo surgery to join with a permanent cybernetic body. When they revert back to the pre-agriculture days, people would draw their sustenance from solar power, water, and genetically engineered microgreens, meat plants, and funguses that would be housed in a movable robotic facility that would plant, grow, and harvest them, before extruding them as nutrient-rich paste that would be the primary food for the tribe. Water would just be found in a creek or something, and boiled or filtered, just wherever it is.
But how would they maintain all that machinery?
You may be asking. First of all, don't interrupt. Second of all, that's where the animals come in. See, there'd be no animals. They would all be extinct. Instead, there would be machines designed to replicate themselves over and over again that would purposefully produce all the necessary parts for the cyborg tribes and the robotic beasts of burden. These wild robots, in turn, would get their materials from scavenging and from plants. As you probably guessed, plants, as we know them, would also be extinct in the wild. In their place, genetically engineered plants would grow and exist like normal, but their material composition would be different. They would be designed to produce usable polymers, rubbers, carbon fiber, and other materials as part of their bodies. Some plants could even be made to have a synthesis with iron bacteria to make a metal and or iron oxide shell that could be quite useful. The robot animals would eat the fake plants, and their insides would be like miniature factories to process the materials and repair or grow their bodies with them. These animals would in turn be hunted for parts and plants and gathered for raw materials to maintain the advanced robotics of the nomadic cyborg tribes. This would mean that they would be a hunter-gatherer society, granted with some animal husbandry because of the robot that poops nutrients acquired through small-scale horticulturalism, but I like to think that that's like it's some tribe that just keeps some animal and eats the poop. It's not really farming in the strictest sense. Well, that's pretty much it. Cyborgs and robots as a bunch of, savage cave people. That's pretty much it. It's honestly kind of like what Gregory's gag in the end of his video was just taken to the extreme in a semi-grounded manner. In summary, just reverse Flintstones.